Was it Captain Under or Captain Over?
No, something underdone. Co-pilot was done or something. Underdone.
Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember. But anyway, welcome to All About the Bass on Andertons TV with myself, the Captain.
And me, Nathan.
Nathan. Now, this particular demo, to be honest with you, I've done absolutely no research for whatsoever. But fortunately, the very excellent Nathan King here has had his head in the manual for the last 2 weeks, and hopefully is going to give us one of the most comprehensive, overviews of it. No, come on, let's be serious. It's a distortion pedal. What can you tell me?
Okay, well, it's a distortion pedal by Wampler, a very distinguished pedal manufacturer.
Yes. And lovely, and owned by a lovely chap called Brian.
Yeah, the name is brilliant, because I thought it was, initially I just thought it was like made up because it sounded cool, but that's the guy's name, right?
Brian Wampler.
Wampler.
Yep. Makes great pedals.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Lots of, I've demoed loads of the guitar pedals. They're always first class. But yeah, never demoed a bass pedal before. So.
Okay, well, I think this is exactly why he's built one, because, so many bass players said, it's great, but we need a dedicated bass overdrive stroke distortion. So he's gone and built them one.
So come on, lots of knobs and buttons.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Well, it's American built for a start, so obviously great quality as you'd expect from Wampler. We've got a true bypass on and off switch, which is, I know a lot of people really like that, so that's good. And then just loads and loads of controls. We've got 3-band EQ.
Active or passive?
Oh, it's an active EQ, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's superior in essence.
What else we got?
There's a blend button on there.
What does it blend?
Well, it kind of blends between your dry signal and distortion,
Okay.
which we like. And then again, an overall level. A couple of little toggle switches there. So, basically they just alter the tone, Well, which we're going to find out, because I'm going to play some stuff.
I shall twiddle.
And Lee is going to have a fiddle about, because this is the best way, really, isn't it?
It's got the nice switch. So all Wampler pedals use those. What do you call them? So the switch doesn't go ka-clunk, ka-clunk.
Electronic.
It just.
That's an electronic switch, isn't it?
I don't know what's like a soft.
It's not
soft
mechanical
press.
switch.
Yeah, like a soft press switch. So it's got a nice switch, and these little dip switches here, which I'm fairly sure that Nathan's slightly challenged eyesight was struggling to see what they did, but they are it's essentially, one is a notch filter for the EQ. And the other changes the kind of gain structure. So has 2 gain structures. A smooth one designed to emulate more of a sort of a clipping overdriven tone, and the other a jagged gain structure designed to be more of a distorted, dirty fuzz sort of tone. Let's give it a whirl, like we always do. Here's our reference tone, and we are using a Mark bass Big Bang with everything at sort of 12 o'clock pretty much, aren't we? Yes, even the gain at 12
Pretty
o'clock.
flat, yeah.
So, here's our basic tone. is a versatile little pedal. I think my favourite things on it, I really like this notch filter.
Yeah.
That kind of, again, just instantly gives me a sound that I prefer. That, you know, a basic EQ sound that I prefer.
What, in?
Yeah, on.
Right.
And I really like this blend feature as well, because if there's a thing about bass distortion pedals that I don't like, is I don't like it when there's no dry signal kind of coming through.
Yeah.
I find that it does just, it loses the essence of what a bass kind of should have, that sort of driving rhythm, sort of, you know, that driving kind of tempo bass sort of rhythm thing.
Yeah.
And if you just have too much distortion on it, particularly once there's a guitar in the mix as well, it all becomes just a mushy mess.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You can get, I was having a little fiddle about with it earlier, and you can, if you go all the way around with the blend and give it some, so you can get some quite sort of almost synth sounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me just have a fiddle.
Mid that riff, so you probably recognise that riff. It's super, super cool. I love that. But if I back the blend thing, my one thing with that is I think if you played that in the band and everyone else is doing their thing as well, you just wouldn't get the bass line with that. So I think if you roll the blend back, hopefully we'll get a similar mix of the two. You know.
Let's try that. This is both pickups on, by the way.
I much prefer that, you know, that's where we were before.
Yeah.
You know. And it loses that note clarity, whereas down here it retains a bit more of that note clarity, doesn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I like this pedal. It's kind of annoying, really, because we did a sort of a bass overdrive pedal shootout some weeks ago, and it
would have been nice to have
this one would have won. Well, I say it would have won. Obviously, from my recollection, I certainly think that this was.
You were very drunk.
Yes, I was actually smashed in that video, as I need to be for most of these kind of bass videos. No, I like it. I do like it a lot. We're running just a regular 9-volt supply into it. It will take up to 18 volts. Where
does it sound better?
Well, what you tend to find on.
I was joking.
No, when you put more when you give more voltage to a pedal, it tends to have more headroom, and if there's any, and sometimes reduces any sort of background noise that you might have in there. So we can. What have we got it plugged into? Have we got one of those ones where we could get 12 volts into it, just to see if there's any sort of a. So we had another idea, because I've never actually done this. I've read a lot on, in manuals about going from 9 to 18 volt and all that kind of stuff. I've never actually done it to see whether it sounds any different. So, hey, in this hand is a 9 volt. Can you see this? A 9 volt power supply, and plugged in is an 18 volt power supply. So I guess if I just set it up, sort of halfway on, let's just see if it makes any. This is the, but everyone's going to go, can't hear any difference at all. But here we are. So here's with what's plugged in? 18 volts. Let's go back to 9 then. So we start with what most of us will have, a 9 volt power supply. Here we go. Here is 18 volts. There's something sounds different, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. Do this again. Clearly the difference is not massive, so concentrate, listen to the difference and see if we can hear it again.
Okay.
So do it. This is the 9 volt one.
Ready?
Yeah.
It's quieter.
It's less background noise, which, yeah.
But it's quieter in volume. The levels.
Do you think so?
Yeah, it's quieter.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
It is.
Let's try that again.
Right.
Right. Okay. Sorry for all the bumps and pumps. So this is the
Edit
9
them
volt,
out, Pete.
9 volt one again.
All of them. Right, so.
Listen again. We're trying to hear the difference between the sort of the 9 volt and the 18 volt. Shall I turn the gain up a bit, or is that more?
Is that going to help? All right.
Do it. Yeah. Okay. It's a bit quieter, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? What's that all about?
So, I'm not entirely sure we've proved anything there, other than, you know, the whole 9 to 18 volt. I tell you what, Brian, if you're watching, you're clever. Tell the people what should happen, or what is actually happening scientifically when you give more voltage to a distortion pedal. Because I know, I always thought it was, the only time I know anything about how distortion pedals change when you have different varying voltages is there were some of those old stories, weren't there? The old sort of like the fuzz pedals and stuff, that as the voltage drops in the fuzz pedal and the pedal can't, the old, you know, transistors can't get enough kind of power to do the distortion thing. You got that kind of broken, fuzzy kind of distortion pedal, which some guitarists kind of wanted. But going the other way, sort of delivering more power to it. There we are. Look.
I just thought it was versatile and it could like handle.
Oh, I see. So
range
it sort of didn't matter what power supply you had.
Yeah.
No, I'm fairly sure there's supposed to be a more technical reason for why you might want to.
Do you know what? I think we're going to find out very soon.
Yes, there'll be some clever clogs in the comment section who will tell us. But anyway. Okay, cool. Hope you've enjoyed this quick demo of the Wampler Low Blow bass distortion pedal. It's very, very cool. It's £199 in stock now. And Nathan's just come up with a cool riff to play us out, so I've kind of tried to dial in one of those higher gain, more sort of synthy sounds. So there we are. Take it away, Nathan.
Bit of Jamiroquai for ya. See you next time. Ta-da.